Welcome back to the King Post YouTube channel and podcast. I am your host, Amal Thompson, and I am with Sailors K. How you doing today, buddy?
Good. We're changing up the backgrounds lately. I noticed
You've been
was
bouncing
outside
around.
last time. I'm in a whole new place now, so I'm feeling good, feeling great. How you been?
I'm good, man. Still watching these prospects, still watching a lot of these guys and how they perform. Going back to some of the tape during the year, going back to what I saw in live games, and then going back to the highlight reels that they kind of cut up to make a guy look really good. And there was a guy I was fond of all off season before the combine. Please back me on this.
Oh Lord,
Please back me on
annoying
this.
with him. This
I
is so
have been I
annoying.
have been annoying with him, and I think the reason I've been annoying with him is because I saw shades of somebody else in him, and if he got in front of the right people, we could start hearing some buzz, right? So started before the Senior Bowl. Senior Bowl, he had a decent Senior Bowl. Combine, he had a fantastic combine, great measurables. I don't know if Arkansas had a pro day yet, but the prospect is Taylen Green, the 6'2", 224 quarterback out of Arkansas, formerly of Boise State, who was projected to be probably a late day 2 to day 3 pick, has been skyrocketing up the boards because, again, the measurables are there. Now, if I was efficient, I'd have the measurables pulled up on my phone from his combine. But while I do that, I feel like you had to take about Taylen Green before we got on here.
You don't want me to start. I think we should start on a high note,
On a high note?
positivity, because
All right, well, let's talk
I'm
about.
gonna bring it down. Like,
You're going to bring the rain? Okay.
I gotta
So
be
let's talk
honest.
about Taylen Green's combine, right? He comes in there, and the 6'6" usually wonder, like, is a guy actually going to come in and measure around that? Well, he came in at 6'5" and like 2.5. I mean, 2 quarters, right? So like 6'6". Came in at 227, and at that weight, he ran a 4.36 40. Now, if we're keeping track, that's how fast Jeremiah Love ran the 40-yard dash. 43.5-inch vertical. Sidebar, he had the second fastest 40-yard dash for a quarterback ever. The 43.5-inch vertical is the positional record for a quarterback, and the broad jump was the positional record for the quarterback, which was 11.2. So it established him as a top 10 quarterback prospect. Go back and watch the film, and I'm seeing a lot of deficiencies in his accuracy still. Obviously, when you're out there in t-shirt and shorts with guys running wide open, you could hit them, right? He has a pretty decent arm. He was a great runner, had fumbling issues in real life game, right? Like watching him in Arkansas games, there were a few of those that they lost because of late game fumbles due to Taylen Green not really being safe with the ball. There's something to be said about somebody holding all these positional records. It's great on paper, right? But part of the reason why they are the record is because the level of athlete that you are does not line up with the position you're testing for. I will repeat. The reason why you're
Preach,
able to hold so many positional records at
preach.
6'6", 225 is because a lot of the people who are playing the quarterback position and are of that height, that weight, they're not that level athlete. You know what the level of athlete that tests that way are playing when they go to the combine? Tight end, wide receiver. Oh yeah, go. You have an answer. Go ahead.
Skill positions.
Skill positions. Yep. To
There we
simplify
go.
it, skill positions. So here's my thing. With the measurables that he exhibited at the combine, he should have been a game breaking quarterback, even in the SEC. Arkansas is a pretty solid school. Arkansas did not have the best defense last year. Arkansas has a top 10 rated running back that went to the combine. He also was a warrior at the combine that people are loving. I think he was a fifth-year guy. His name's evading me right now. I think it's Mike Johnson or something like that. So you had a
Who?
running back. He's a top 10 prospect, a running back for Arkansas. He's like
Okay.
kind of a fantasy darling right now. People are like, how are people not speaking more about him? He's a bit older coming into the league, but he could probably
This
get on a
year's RJ
team.
Harvey.
Stop.
My bad.
Don't be disrespectful. Even though I already told you, like, we'll discuss that later, right? But don't do my
My
boy like
bad,
that.
man.
Why can't I find it? Point being, we'll talk about that running back later. But he had positional players that were playing the part. He had SEC schedule that was hard, but wasn't unplayable. And I watched him again with those measurables, not utilize them to the fullest. You give me those measurables, I'm expecting to see a Lamar Jackson level season. Granted, different comp consistently, but if you're one of the fastest players on the field, one of the highest jumping players on the field, one of the most agile players on the field, I should be seeing a lot more out of you. The short distance throws that we praised Fernando Mendoza for in a prior video, Taylen Green doesn't excel at that. The mid level throws, he doesn't necessarily excel at that. The deep level throws, when he hits them, they're beautiful. He doesn't necessarily excel at the accuracy on those either. There's another guy that we got on here and said, hey, look, the position might not be for him. He's an amazing athlete, big, strong, again, can throw the ball as far as you want it, but the position might not be for him. We didn't get ridiculed, but people are like, it's kind of harsh. That guy's, what, second string for who right now?
Second?
Or is
I
it
don't even
third?
know if he's second. I don't even
Where
know.
is he at?
He might be third because there's not even a fourth option, brother. But
Where is he at?
it's him. You're talking about AR, correct? It's on the same page.
100%.
Yeah,
100% AR.
it's your boy DJ, and then I believe Riley Leonard or the Notre Dame quarterback is two
He's
on
not
the
with
death.
Indianapolis anymore.
They just drafted a guy like last year, a couple rounds late. I thought I got a laptop in front of
No,
me.
I'm
Let
just
me
saying,
pull it
like,
out.
Anthony Richardson isn't with Indianapolis anymore.
Did he get traded or released? Because from what I know, they were looking for a trade partner. But
I think
let's
they were
be
looking for a
honest.
trade partner, yeah. Okay, he's still with Indy, but he's openly being shopped.
I don't know if shopped is the right term, but yeah.
He's been given permission to
So
seek a trade partner. And guess what?
yeah,
They don't do that for you if they want you to be their quarterback franchise, newsflash. So I say all that to say this. I was intrigued by Taylen Green because my picture of Taylen Green pre offseason was if he lands in the right location and he's able to kind of build his skill set, I could see him utilizing packages and maybe over time we could find some role for him on the roster where the pressure is not high. If you're talking about this guy being a back end first round pick, like we've been hearing recently, you're going to be over expecting and he's going to under deliver unless you're talking about position switch. Now, look, there is an undertone to this, which Chris is here to bring about because he has his take on it, right? And I'm
I
gonna let
don't
him
know if
go
it's a
first.
take or if it's gonna be hate.
I
Are
don't
you
think
ready?
it's hate because, like, if
I'm
we were
just an
making
honest
content at
man.
the time, we wouldn't have said it about Lamar. I think Lamar showed us everything to think, okay, he could potentially do it in the league. I thought the
Yes, because
accuracy was there.
we're ball knowers. We could
Yeah.
see without the bias, without the facades, without the hope and dreams. We just see these prospects for what they are. And you can't call someone a fraud if they're showing you who they are. You can't like you just gotta read it. So that's why I'm coming to bring this vid down a little bit. I'm sorry in advance,
Hmm.
but it's gotta be honest. But you hit it on the head, Amal. The fact that you excelled at damn near every category in the combine, yet didn't stick out significantly when you're on the field, is a major red flag. You had the advantage running, jumping, like physically, like you had everything you needed to be a monster. I didn't see one. You didn't see one. And honestly, when you said he was projected third, fourth round, even with the tape I saw, that's way too early. Like he's, in my eyes, a developmental piece only because of the physical aspects. But then we dip into the AR situation, and it's good to be an athlete, but the QB position is one of the hardest positions to play, not only in football, but in my eyes, in any sport across. Like quarterbacks, there's so much you have to diagnose, analyze, and execute in a couple seconds that you could be the best athlete and be horrible, or you could be like Tom Brady, no offense, that not that much of an athlete, but the greatest ever. So it's a different position, it's a mental position. All the physicals are cool, it's cute, it's good to have it, but once again, you had it and did nothing with it. So that's my take. I was watching a couple of interviews on him, and he's set in stone on playing quarterback in the league. And salute from black man to black man. You got to put your foot down and say, yes, I am a quarterback and give it a shot. But when you come into the combine and you put up the same numbers that Calvin Johnson did when he was there, you could still have a
Sometimes,
bright future.
sometimes
like,
you, sometimes you, yes, for history's sake,
like,
and all the quarterbacks after you, right, and all the quarterbacks that didn't get the chance before you. Sometimes you have to put your foot down, like Chris said, and be like, "Look, I'm standing on my morals here." But those guys did not test at an elite level
he
with
had the best
positional
combine
players. Yeah,
from
with
from a quarterback ever. He had the best combine. That's
exactly.
facts.
And the
But it's
issue
the
with it
underwear
is
Olympics.
like before we went to the combine, nobody looked at him as a cornerstone piece. Even Anthony Richardson was getting that buzz before we went to the combine. He wasn't there, and he had years of film. We watched him at Boise State. We watched him at Arkansas. We watched him start multiple games. The hidden aspect to the Trey Lances and the ARs was they only started 12 games. Imagine them if they really got to develop. Brother, we've seen games. You have a catalog,
Yeah.
right? You were at the Senior
Yeah.
Bowl. You know what that means? You were a senior. You played some years of football. So the issue I'm having is I'm hoping he's putting his foot down in interviews for, you know, that stance, but I hope when he gets into a camp, there's a little bit of flexibility, especially if he lands with a team that knows what they're doing. Because personally, I think there's a couple teams he could go and immediately be impactful. Imagine him on Baltimore.
Stop.
I know you're a Cincy fan, but imagine
Stop.
him in Baltimore.
Please bring him to Baltimore. Yeah, please bring him to Baltimore. I'm talking about for his sake. I can only see him in one situation to be successful. Just one.
I see multiple if he's willing to
Just one.
be. I see him in multiple areas where if he's willing to be flexible, he could be successful. Just depends on what he sees success as, right? Like if he goes to New York, I could see him playing on. It's gonna be a gadgety role. I'm sorry, it's gonna be gadgety. We talked about not really loving gadgety. It's gonna be gadgety. But you have somebody who could throw a football because he can throw a football. He's not like the
He's
best
shown
quarterback.
glimpses.
He could
Like
throw. He could throw the
I saw
football.
it. I saw it.
He's a
Yeah.
dual threat. If you put him back there with another quarterback, that's a dual threat. Or if you line him out wide, you could cook so many stuff up. And if you give him to John Harbaugh, or if you give him to shoot, if he goes to Seattle, I'm sure Mike McDaniel could use him in a fun way. He just has to be willing to be gadgety. Go ahead.
Doesn't Seattle already have their gadget guy from Alabama?
They do, but I
And how
mean,
did they use him last year?
not at all.
Thank you. So
Yeah,
back to my point. There's
he
one
wasn't.
team that
He
he can go
wasn't.
to.
He wasn't 6'6" and ran a 4.3
Yeah,
6.40.
yeah. Like I said, there's
Who's
one team, and you're right.
Seattle's starting? Who's Seattle
He's a
starting tight end?
gadget guy.
Who is Seattle starting tight end?
Beats me. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
But he's
Seems
not
like
playing
there's a
tight end.
gap.
I'm going based off of what you're saying and what he's saying. You're right.
I'm
He's a
saying there's a
gadget
gadget.
guy. He needs to be developed. He needs some work. And that means you need a guy that has success in the league, getting the most out of their players, and knows how to put people in positions where they are successful at their best, when they can be their best, and someone that understands the game on a whole nother level. Now, I can only put a handful of players and coaches in that category,
Yeah.
but if we break it down, two that come to mind. The first one's Andy Reid. We all know that's not happening.
No,
They
it's
they
not.
have they have the guy that name will not be announced, and they also have Justin Field they just signed. So
They already
get
have
that
their
role
gadget
filled.
guy. Yeah.
But guess who doesn't? Sean McVay. If he goes to Los Angeles, they have a late pick. They're known for developing players. Stafford is on his way out. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm saying that's his best shot. Because if Sean McVay can figure it out, which I think he can figure anything out, great. But if he can't, who?
I have
Like
another
I you
Sean.
could
I have another Sean.
McDermott?
Nope.
Hey, oh
I have another
who?
Sean.
Who?
Who got the most out of Taysom Hill?
Good gravy. Don't
Sean Payton. Send him up. Send him up north, brother. He's got Bo Nix playing in a way I've never thought I'd see Bo Nix play. Again, Bo Nix has the accuracy. Bo Nix. I mean, that's really it. The short to intermediate accuracy is there for Bo
You
Nix,
know what?
and he can throw a good deep
I'll
ball.
give you that one. I'll give
But
you that one.
if you
I'll give you
had
that
me
one.
thinking first off, Jimmy Graham as a tight end had his best years in New Orleans. Taysom Hill was a factor on the field in all facets of the game in New
But Taysom
Orleans.
Hill's one of one, though. Let's be honest.
Okay, yes, but he was willing to be a utility knife. This guy has probably would have had the best tight end combine if he tested as a tight end. Would have definitely been up there with the wide receivers if he tested with the wide receivers. Like, he seems like a insane athlete.
He is.
So give him to
It's a
guys who know
fact.
how to use those attributes. Again, I don't know how do you line up for a Ravens squad, or in this case, Bo Nix with Taylen Green in the backfield. We run him out on a bootleg, right? He stays behind the line of scrimmage, comes back around. There's just so much you could kind of scheme up back there. There's so much to worry about. And then you have Marvin Mims running over the top, and you have like all these positional players with a ton of speed that you could kind of utilize with his ability to throw it deep, with Bo Nix's accuracy in those intermediate to short ranges. I could see, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I guess unfortunately for anybody who's not a fan of Denver, I can see Sean Payton salivating to take this man in like the second round. Because again, he's a guy that
Yeah.
took Bo Nix way earlier than I had Bo Nix on my chart, and it seemed to work out for him. He went and got his guy right. Took R.J. Harvey way before I thought anybody would take R.J. Harvey, and I loved R.J. Harvey, right? And AFC Rookie of the Year again. We'll talk about what the future looks for R.J. Harvey, but he goes and he gets his guys and he finds a way to make it work. I could see him doing the same with Taylen Green.
Yeah, but sadly, which I don't agree with, but I just see facts. In a league that drafted John Ross top five, Taylor Green will be a first round pick. It's
I think he
just
is going to be a first round pick
he's gonna be a first round pick.
to the
It's
Jets.
just everyone wants to be responsible for,
To the
oh, we made
Jets.
him this. But the sad part is if he doesn't work out, it's like, oh, he just was never a good quarterback. It's his fault. And it's like, no, if you
Who's an
draft
Arkansas
him,
alum? Who's an Arkansas alum who could probably
oh Lord,
who could trade back into the first for him?
you beat me. I don't know. Who we talking?
Jerry Jones.
Who?
Jerry Jones.
Oh brother. Can
He's an
we
Arkansas
stop?
alum. I think there's
Can
just
we
so many
stop?
angles where I could see him being like, this guy super fast, super strong, jumps super high, and can throw a football. Because I mean, we're talking about
Yeah,
the same
Jerry
guy who.
Jones, this N word, then fill in those blanks because he's
Okay, yeah,
racist.
probably,
I'm
probably,
sorry. No, it's
but
not. No.
but I mean, he fell in love with Joe Milton too.
Yeah,
This is a guy who's
he has
who
his
likes
token
that
black guy
style.
already.
He has that style of like again falling into the trap. Big arm athlete. Who cares if he's accurate with it? Who cares if he knows the position? These are things you can't teach. Well, they can't really learn the things that you need to teach, which is a part of the issue. But ideal landing spot for Taylen Green, because we're not here to just rag on Taylen Green. I think there's a successful career for him out there if he's willing to be a part of the gadget, if he's willing to move around and not be, okay, we're going to take you and try to make you a pocket passer or turn you into Lamar. Because, again, some of the deficiencies in your game, Lamar didn't have his deficiencies coming out of college. Now, even those things are catching up with Lamar a little bit, right? But, like, the shiftiness and the elusiveness, those are things that are natural that Taylen Green doesn't necessarily have. He's an athlete. He doesn't have that like quick twitch like Lamar does, right?
He doesn't have that football instinct. That's
Yeah,
that sixth
that's a
sense.
mix, right?
Like,
And again, Lamar at the back end of well, not back end at this point in his career, there's been some regression. We'll talk about that in another pod, another vid.
brother.
But I say Denver is an ideal landing spot. I wouldn't mind your selection of Los Angeles. I still think Baltimore is a good landing spot.
Stop with that.
And the Giants would be an okay landing spot. Again, if he's
What?
willing to move around and not just be like, okay, I'm gonna back up till I get my shot. Get him on the field with those measurables and what he could do. Get him on the field. Now, terrible landing spots. The Jets,
That's facts.
Las Vegas.
That's also valid.
Anywhere where you're going to be asking him to play quarterback in a moment's notice, right? Like, ooh, we have Malik Willis. You know who we should draft and then stash to make our starter next year? Taylen Green. Wrong.
Brother.
Do not need him in Miami, right? So there's the spots I hate personally. You sound like you only like him in Los Angeles though,
I hate
specifically
all
the
31
Rams.
other spots. Yeah, his only chance, Taylen, if you're watching this, if any team calls you, say, no, I'm not going, unless it's Sean McVay. He's the one that will be the resurrector of your entire career because we haven't seen it.
We're
I've
resurrecting it
seen
before it even started.
glimpses. I've seen glimpses. You've seen glimpses. It's there, but you're on a very strict program. You have to sit at least one full year behind a vet that is really good at their job with a coach that is cracked out and has talent surrounded by you for at least the next 2 years when you start. It's only the Rams. If he gets drafted to the Rams, I'm buying in. I'm trading the house. He's gonna be on my team in all formats, dynasty purposes only. But if he goes to any other team, I it's just not worth it. Because once again, you're gonna be in the same situation as AR, and it's like, why did I fall for this again? Because once again, I believe AR would have been successful if he went to the right team. But he went to a team that made him what he wasn't based off of physical aspects and tried to throw him in on day one. And he legitimately got worse, which I didn't think could happen, but he got worse. It's not like he's just been the same. No, AR actually got worse at football.
I
He's so bad,
mean,
he checked himself out. He's like, you know what, coach? I gotta sit. Like, I gotta go. I can't do this right now. Like he mentally broke.
it became a
It's over.
situation where he
Like,
couldn't trust his arm, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just run this thing, and then he wasn't durable enough going against grown men. It's hard to learn that lesson, right? Like the NFL is a
yeah.
different level of athlete. I think for dynasty purposes, um, I'm approaching it with caution, and obviously, where you get drafted in the real draft kind of designates the investment level at the dynasty level as well.
Word.
And it's unfortunate because, like, even if I see him go in the first round, I am not spending a first round rookie pick on him. Um,
But you will see people do it.
it's gonna happen.
You
Like if
will
he,
see people do
I
it.
mean, let's be honest though. You're spending the 1-7 to 112, or the 1-6 to 110 in a rookie draft if he goes to the Rams in the first round, aren't you? I'm talking you specifically.
I would spend anywhere after the 1-8. I think there's a solid seven,
There's
eight
some solid
prospects that I
people,
can
yeah.
argue that I'm not willing to take a risk on him. If those are all taken before him, then sure. Because at that point, you're just throwing darts blindfold.
The
Like,
second if he's the second quarterback off the board, I have to change my analysis. Like investment level matters, especially if it's in the first round, right? I'm not talking like
nah,
the Kenny Pickett
nah.
year where Kenny Pickett went number 20 or whatever it was, and we didn't see a quarterback for like 2 to 3 rounds. I'm not looking to do that, right?
Of course.
But if
I'm
he's
glad
in
you
the
said that
first
though.
round, if he's in the
'Cause-
first round behind Mendoza by like 18 picks or something like that, you have to address it. You got to change your narrative. And if you're a team in that 1-6 to 110 range and you could spare that pick, quarterbacks are still currency, even if you don't believe in them initially, right?
But
Like
that's the thing. Like you said, the Kenny Pickett experiment. What if Pittsburgh takes him another quarterback first round and it's Taylor
and it's
Green?
Taylen Green.
Yeah.
You kind
The
of
nothing changes. I promise you. They're gonna try to sell it. His value goes down. Landing spot is crucial with this guy.
go back and watch Kenny Pickett
Crucial.
trades. If we ever do a trade review like video on the channel again, go back and look at some of those Kenny Pickett trades. Even with the base level that he was playing at, one spike game and he was out of there. Quarterback, man, you were able to get something back. Return on investment isn't hard to get as long as he's the starter and you see him perform well even once. I saw Will Levis garner some trades where I look back and I'm like, bro, Will Levis?
Okay, in first game, 400 plus yards, it's like three touchdowns.
Exactly, but
It
that's the
was it was
thing.
valid. It was valid. It was valid.
Against a defense that we realized wasn't amazing, right? And again, you look back at some of those throws and they were fantastic. But are they replicatable on a consistent basis? We find
Okay,
out no.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say they are. He will be good next year.
Okay.
We're gonna put that up.
Well,
Yeah,
Levis,
you
all right,
know.
cool. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm buying.
this has been the Taylen Green draft prospect vid. Hopefully you land somewhere great for the kid. Uh, any closing thoughts on him? I gave all I could say.
My closing thoughts are: I would actually take Will Levis over Taylor Green at quarterback. So that tells you anything.
That's got to be racist.
Exactly what you need to
Anyway,
know.
we'll see you on the next video, where we're probably going to be covering Ty Simpson, honestly. But until next time, peace.